Right, so in this age of artificial intelligence that we now find ourselves in, where digital tools can create simulations of imagined realities, none have been so bizarre, and not to mention gut-wrenchingly disgusting, as the recent AI-generated video depicting the copper-toned cretin that passes for the US President, Donald Trump, and his vision for Gaza, sparking entirely justified outrage and ridicule as that has across the globe. The video, which I've covered previously on this channel, which you may have well seen elsewhere yourself, portrayed Trump as a saviour figure overseeing a utopian vision for Gaza, transformed into a playground for the wealthy, blatantly disregarding Palestinian lives, the Palestinians removed from the picture entirely, of course, a clear promotion of the ethnic cleansing of people from their own lands. Well, the thing with AI is that two can play at that game. And if Trump wanted to make a target of the Palestinians, the thin-skinned, baby-handed one has left himself wide open for a hilarious and entirely justified response. The comeback on Trump by a group of Palestinians known as Sahat English has arrived in the form of an AI counter video, mercilessly mocking Trump and his vision for Gaza, exposing the absurdity of his plans and making it abundantly clear that Gaza is for the Gazan people, not Netanyahu, not Israel, and certainly not Donald Trump. And it is well worth watching and sharing, so take a look at this.
Gaza is ours, forever strong, a land of hope where we belong. No matter who, no matter how, we stand unshaken here and now. We are here, we will remain. Gaza rises through the pain. With our hearts, with our hands, we will build on our land. The light, a child's laughter, a mother's prayer. Hope is stronger than despair. We will build on our land.
Right, so the Donald Trump vision for Gaza, which has gone viral, with the overwhelming viewpoint, thankfully, of most sensible people being one of abject disgust and horror, has met its match, as you've just seen there, I think. A thumping rock anthem overseeing people bringing themselves together out of the ruins of Gaza, as it currently is, picking themselves up, dusting themselves down to rebuild their lives, and in a counter video to that Trump video, they also offer a vision of the future as they see it, but a future where Gaza very much remains Palestinian and not stolen for Trump's own ends. Fishing boats, new roads, new buildings, but of course then also comes the satire, the mockery and the defiance that Trump and co have more than invited upon themselves. Elon Musk, head in his hands, Trump screaming from Las Vegas, and finally ending with both him and Benjamin Netanyahu sharing a prison cell. It's cleverly done. It matches exactly the same style as the Trump video, but is so much better in so many ways, and it really needs to be garnering more attention than it appears to be getting in order to reclaim the narrative here. Sahat English, Palestine Unfiltered, is a collective of Palestinian artists, activists and filmmakers who have used their talents and produced an innovative counter video to the disgusting video published by Trump to challenge those oppressive narratives and amplify Palestinian voices. Their vision is to be the first Palestinian digital media platform unfiltering the Palestinian cause, history, resistance and rights, addressing audiences speaking English as a mother tongue or a second language, regardless of their origin in GB, EU, US and worldwide. In light of which their mission statement is to narrate the updates in Palestine, to tell the facts about what happened there since 1948, and even before, to educate people about the rights of Palestinian people, to unfilter whatever relates to Palestine, to face the Israeli fake propaganda, especially after what happened from the 7th of October 2023. Sahat's video exposes the absurdity and racism and criminality of Trump's vision. He happily shared the pro-Trump video, after all, even if he had nothing to do with making it himself, and instead highlights the resilience of the Palestinian people, who aren't going to be intimidated by the thug and the bully now occupying the White House. And if anyone doubts those particular words, that particular narrative, you clearly haven't watched that Zelensky video yet. But by reclaiming the narrative for Gaza, the group challenges the dehumanization of Palestinians that is consistently happening widely in mainstream media and various pro-Israel politicians around the world, and asserts their right to exist on their own terms, and they'll accept nothing less, and nor should they. Why should they? The video serves as a powerful reminder that Gaza is not a problem to be solved by outsiders, but a living, breathing community with its own history, culture, and aspirations, as much as Israel denies them all. That yes, do need outside help to now rebuild, but in their interests, and not those who would seek to essentially steal even more land from them when they have lost enough already and are still losing it to settlers here and now today. Sahat's counter video is part of a growing trend of using satire and digital media cleverly to challenge oppressive narratives and amplify marginalised voices. It is particularly clever to use that humour to gain attention. In recent years, Palestinian artists and activists have increasingly turned to platforms like YouTube, Instagram and TikTok to share their stories and counter the dominant narratives that keep getting propagated by mainstream media and political leaders around the world, and increasingly have been able to cut through where mainstream media keeps ignoring them. It is, after all, how so much of what has happened in Gaza has become more widely known. It is a shift that reflects a broader recognition of the power of digital media in this day and age to shape public opinion and mobilise support for social justice, getting around mainstream narratives. And given how many of us talk about Gaza here and now and have done these last 15 months, that we've been watching this genocide play out on our phones, it does work, therefore. The use of AI technology in Sahat's video is particularly noteworthy, as it demonstrates how even the most marginalised communities can also harness these cutting-edge tools, this tech of today, to challenge their oppressors toe-to-toe on a level playing field with them, and how they can exceed that when righteousness and justice is placed next to depravity and evil. By using the same technology and even the same style that was used to create that original Trump video, Sahat have turned the tables on their detractors. They have exposed their hypocrisy and their wickedness and the claims that they make, and by doing so in this way have completely undermined the credibility of the original video, as absurd as it was, whilst also empowering Palestinians to take control of the narrative. Sahat's video is not the only AI response that has recently come out to ridicule the Trump video either. One other particularly notable example, called Strip in Trip, was made by director Andrea Gestalden. It's a little bit more on the nose. The waves featured washing up on Gaza's beaches, which dominate the entire thing, are rather red, and no prizes for guessing why that would be. But it particularly takes aims at prominent Western figures and their involvement, putting them all on that beach or wading in the water. Joe Biden, for example, is stood there eating an ice cream. Elon Musk is sobbing, sat on the sand whilst holding a rocket. Kamala Harris is making sandcastles, and Ursula von der Leyen is rubbing sun lotion into Donald Trump's back. It's well worth a watch as well. The release of the Trump video and the subsequent backlash have sparked a broader conversation about the future of Gaza in the interests of the Gazan people, and the role of the international community that we all have in addressing that point, and the genocide in Gaza that has perpetrated what we see today, and what makes for acceptable resolutions in light of too many global leaders being on the side of the oppressors against the oppressed, and how politically toxic for them this is increasingly becoming, and so it should. In recent days, several human rights organisations have issued statements condemning Trump's plans and calling for an end to the occupation of Palestinian territories. The United Nations has also weighed in. They could do a lot more than weighing in, though, with Secretary General Antonio Guterres describing the video as deeply troubling and reiterating the UN's commitment to a two-state solution based on the 1967 borders. The clash between Trump's AI-generated video and Sahat's satirical counter-video is more than just a battle of narratives, though. It is a reflection of the broader struggle for justice and equality in Palestine. By using humour and creativity to challenge oppressive narratives, Sahat and other pro-Palestinian creators are reclaiming their story. They're taking back the narrative, they're taking control of it, and asserting their right to exist on their own terms, and we should celebrate and applaud that as well as support it. Their work serves as a reminder to all of us that the fight for Palestinian rights is not just a political issue, but it's a moral imperative. As viewers of their content, as I hope you are now, we now have a responsibility to engage critically with these narratives and to challenge the dehumanization that continues unabated and still dominates political and media discourse. The conversation about Gaza and Palestinian rights is far from over, and it is up to all of us to ensure that that continues. It must continue. Sharing counter videos like this one by Sahat is a great way to keep it going. For more on this story, including my own takedown of the Trump video, do check out this video recommendation here as your suggested next watch. Please do hit like, share and subscribe before you do so, though, so as to ensure you don't miss out on all new daily content published daily on this channel, as well as supporting the channel at the same time, which I'm rather grateful for. And I will hopefully catch you therefore on the next vid. Cheers, folks.